Okay, so now in this particular video, I'm going to show you how to create landing pages that promote your CPA offers. Now, creating landing pages requires you to understand how to create a website. There are tools that you can use that will allow you to do this, so you don't have to learn how to program or how to code or anything like that. So even if you don't know how to program, if you know how to use basic tools that I'm going to show you, this should be pretty easy to do. Now, before we get started, I do want to mention that you need to have a domain name and web hosting. If you don't have a domain name, I would highly recommend that you go to namecheap.com. And Namecheap looks like this. And as you can see here at Namecheap, you can type in a certain domain name that you want and see if it's available and purchase it for $9.69 per year, which is not bad at all. So you can pretty much get your website up and running with less than $20, just initially, of course. Hosting will cost a little more than that. It might cost about $10 a month or less. With web hosting, I would recommend that you use HostGator, and HostGator looks like this. And as you can see here, HostGator only costs $4.95 per month for the basic stuff. And they offer 3 plans: a hatchling, baby, and business. $4.95, $7.95, and $12.95. If you're just getting started, I recommend that you just use the $4.95, and that's it. And I know some of you might ask, well, once I get my domain name, once I get my hosting, then how do I connect the two? Well, HostGator provides you with enough information on how to connect the two and get your website up and running. So that's not a problem there. That's not an issue. So don't worry about that. Take care of that first. We'll go ahead and create the landing pages. Now, before I move on, I do want to mention that if you are going to use the method of purchasing a specific domain name for every single CPA offer, that's fine too. But if you do that, you want to make sure that you use similar keywords of the offer that you're going to promote in your domain name. So if I was promoting Digsby I'm client, I might want to ask Digsby, but I might say I'm client review or something like that, because I don't want to use Digsby because that might be breaking the law in relation to trademarks. Of course, you can always email them to find out what their legalities are, but most of the time you can't use the same name that they're using in your domain name. Otherwise, that's going to be trademark breaking of that law. So you don't want to do that. Otherwise, you have to pay more money later on and you get fines, and that's not good. So make sure that you use similar keywords. The keywords that you use do not always have to relate specifically to the name of the product or the CPA offer. Okay, so the question is, how do we keep it simple? Well, there's 2 ways of going about this. The way I'm going to show you is setting up a landing page. That's just going to be a single landing page. And you can sort of pre-sell in that way if you want to. You can write a review of Digsby's I'm client, text format, put a video on there if you want. That's what we're going to do. Second of all, you could either go to flexibilitytheme.com, and I've noticed that they have a lot of easy ways to set up a sales page or a review page very, very quickly. And with WordPress, with HostGator.com, you can create WordPress within a few seconds just by logging into the cPanel and doing that. So I just wanted to point this out if you want to take this as a different option. Now that you know that's available to you, I'm going to use a program called NVU. If you don't know where that is, type in NVU. Click download when you see the net2.com/NVU. click on download, and I'm going to see if I'm using Windows, which I am. I'm going to click on download Windows. If you're using Windows, I don't recommend that you download the zip version. Download the .exe, because once you download it, you can install it right away. Okay, so let's zoom forward and assume that you've downloaded this, and feel free to pause it at any time. Okay, so for test purposes, I'm going to create a new folder here, and I'm going to name it landing page. And basically what I want to do is create a index.html page. So if I click on new, right click, click new, click on text document. You can't really see it, but I'll go up here, new text document. But anyways, just create a new text document and highlight this whole thing because I just want to delete it, and rename it as index.html, as you can see here. Basically that is a web page, and that's all you need to know. I'm going to open this up with NVU, and this is what NVU looks like. So basically my goal is to create a simple landing page that I can review the Digsby IM client, and once I do a review on that, I get people excited because they are searching for that. They get there, they get a glimpse of what Digsby is, perhaps a screenshot. Just like I showed you earlier, that guy on the Mashable site, all he did was write 3 paragraphs, put up a screenshot, and that was it. And he ranked top 5 out of 10. It's not bad at all. So I'm showing you a method here that should be pretty simple. Your review should be at the top, and your goal is that to use as many of those keywords that we found here. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you this ahead of time, but with PPC, when Google looks at your pay-per-click campaign, they look at your campaign, the keywords, but they also look at your landing page, about the first few hundred characters. And if they see the keywords that are on the pay-per-click campaign are the same as the ones on your landing page, they're going to give you a higher quality score. So in this case, I'm going to use Digsby IM client, and that means I want to put that in the title. Well, with NVU, how do I do that? If I click on format, click on page title and properties, I can edit the title. I could say something like Digsby IM client. Then I can put my name, the description. So in this case, I just want to make sure I have that keyword there, that keyword there. And because when Google comes to the site, they'll say, oh, the title has the keyword in it, and so does its description. Or I could kind of spice that up a bit. Watch my video review and delete this part. So when people see that in the search engines, they're thinking, oh, okay, I can watch a video. I don't have to read something. So that way you can appeal to the people with visual and audio. But at the same time, if you want to appeal to those who are, who want to read, then that's fine too. So I'm going to press OK. Basically, I want to review it so I can have, I want to put a headline, sort of like a sales page, but you don't have to be all fancy because in most of these niches, you don't have to worry about selling people as much, but you still need a headline. You could say, watch my free video review of the IM client. And it's just good habit to capitalize everything so that it looks like it's nice. So you could do that, and you could even review it in the textual sense too, because Google will come to your site, and when they see a video and not much text, then they might not give you as high of a quality score. So you want to make sure that you have enough keywords, but you don't want to spam by entering too many of the same keywords. But you could add a quick text review, and right below that, enter your video review. So right now I'm just showing you the layout of what you have to do. And you could use YouTube. You could record your video through webcam or Camtasia or whatever, upload that to YouTube, and just go to the source code, find where you say video review with the two brackets here, and highlight that part and basically paste the video in there. And then click on save and you'll be done. So once you're done with that, you need to upload your index.html page through FTP. And what you need is basically a FTP program, and I would highly recommend you use FileZilla. Just go Google that and look for that site and look for the FTP program, download it, use the material and the login information that HostGator gives you, log in there and just upload that one page under the main site, and that's it. So there you got it. You have the basic idea. Of course, we didn't create a full landing page, but I gave you a good idea on how to do that. Just keep in mind that when you use PPC, you need to have the same keyword in the PPC. When people hit your landing page, you need to use the same keywords there too. Not only will Google give you a higher quality score, but when you do that, you follow their guidelines and people will actually click your campaign, and that'll actually decrease your pay-per-click cost.